What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. As you can see, we are back in the office. Today we're talking about ketogenic diets and my personal experience with one. Today I'm going to go over 4 different points. Number 1, what a keto diet is. Number 2, why I decided to do a keto diet. Number 3, the pros and cons I found with doing a ketogenic diet. And number 4 is my recommendation. Will I recommend you to go ahead and do one based on my experience? So without further ado, let's get into the video. So number 1 then, what is a ketogenic diet? On a normal diet, it would consist of mainly carbohydrates, then proteins and fats, whereas a ketogenic diet, it is more fat orientated and carbohydrates is little to none. Proteins would stay around about 1 gram per pound of body weight. I was consuming around about 180 at the time. The fundamentals of the ketogenic diet is that it converts your body's metabolism into a state of ketosis, and therefore your body burns fat rather than carbohydrates for energy. Like any other diet, the first week you can almost write off the progress, as that is mainly water weight, especially with a ketogenic diet, where you're wiping out carbs completely and bringing your body into a ketosis state. Water weight will be a massive contribution to the loss of pounds in the first week. Essentially, like any other diet, it's a fat loss diet. It transfers your body's main energy source from carbohydrates to fats. It will put your body's metabolism into a state of ketosis, and in English that means basically your body will use fat rather than glucose for an energy source, also known as carbs. Moving on, why did I do it? So I did keto for around about 6 or 7 weeks. It was just under 2 months at the time, and it was last year. Was it last year? Yeah. It was last year when I was trying to shred a bit of fat for going on holiday. My knowledge on diets wasn't very much. I just knew that, you know, the general consensus was you eat less, you gain less. But obviously that's not the case, I know that now. Me as a person, I've always struggled to lose lower belly fat and body fat in general. That may be because of a lack of consistency or a lack of knowledge. Especially back in those days, a year or so ago, it was definitely a lack of knowledge. And up until I started the keto, it's probably a lack of consistency as well, because the keto was the first properly consistent diet I had done, tracking everything and making sure I was gaining enough knowledge to know what I'm doing in regards to the diet itself. Also, I wanted to try something new. As I say, I found it hard to lose body fat. My motivation was dying out. I wasn't really doing enough research on dieting as a whole, and definitely not enough to make a significant change to my body's composition. However, that's why I also wanted to try something new, you know, spark that something inside that makes me want to go ahead and really reduce my calories in order to lose some weight. At the time, I didn't really do calories in, calories out. It was more of, can I eat this, can I eat that? And the one thing that really sparked my motivation to do the keto diet was definitely the fact that I could nail cheese. I'm a big cheese fan. To find out I could have cheese and chicken and that would be a snack was like, that was the life I wanted to live. And so I did for around about 7 weeks. Obviously it all stemmed down to the fact that the reason I started the ketogenic diet was to burn fat in a different way to what I was doing already. So moving on to the pros and cons. So some good points. Definitely the variety of food I can have. I love, as I say, cheese, and to know that I can possibly even throw butter into my scrambled eggs in the morning, which is a good source of protein, fats, was just another level, because I felt like butter makes a lot of difference to your scrambled eggs. But I could also throw cheese in there as well, and that would bump my fats and my proteins up. I also found, and I swore by this one at the time, and I still do to be fair, the ketogenic diet brought around a lot of energy. After the first week or so of getting into it, when I woke up in the morning I was awake. I didn't really need a coffee to get me going. Obviously I would still have a coffee around about 10 AM or something, but when I was up at 7 I was up, and my sleep was a lot better as well. Alongside that, my energy levels throughout the day were consistent. As long as I was consuming some sort of fat, which obviously was the energy, I was able to, you know, keep consistent energy levels and smash the gym of an evening. And when I say smash the gym, I was still lifting heavy weight. Another point is I got results. Like the majority of diets, if you're consistent in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight, and I did. I burned fat, I won't lie. It was probably the leanest I've ever been with regards to dieting. On the other hand, I obviously like to weight train, as a few of you guys already know. It's something that I've done for a little while. I definitely feel like I lost some gains on the keto diet as well. On the other hand, if I had increased my calories a bit more rather than shutting them down to 2,500 straight away, I may not have lost as much gains as I think I did. Again, that's a lack of knowledge that I didn't really know about. As I say, I consumed about 2,500 calories at the start, and as I say, this was going on for 7 weeks, and towards the last week, which was the 7th week in, I was down to around about 2,100 calories, which is a pretty low number. Now the bad points. So firstly, cheat meals. Cheat meals are almost non-existent. This is a mistake I actually made, but whilst doing ketogenic diets, the cheat meals are a killer for any sort of ketosis, because it knocks you out of ketosis, and it takes about 3 to 4 days to get you back into it. And with that being the case, if you have a cheat meal every week or every couple of weeks, that means you're missing out on 4 to 6 days of efficient weight loss. Cheat meals is something I highly recommend. It's something that I divulge into myself because it keeps me on track, but obviously in moderation. If you haven't seen my previous video, I will link it up there or there. Basically, if you have a cheat meal on ketosis, it really does knock you out, and it hinders the fat loss process a lot more than it would if you want a normal diet, so to say. I also found the second con would be that I had a lot more time on the toilet, and that time I can only describe as being a lot more intense. At the time, I was working an office job where I was sat at a desk all day. You know, any excuse I could have to be away from my desk, I enjoyed, but I tell you now, it was a lot more intense than it used to be. The third point I would definitely say is a bad point about the ketogenic diet is this diet I used for shredding fat before a holiday. The holiday was a week long in Mallorca. It was a good little holiday to be fair, but as soon as I got on holiday, I didn't train and I didn't look after my diet at all. I drank beer, I went straight back onto carbs, and as a result my body was not used to that, and it just stored all the fat. It felt like every day I was putting on a stone. Now I know a lot of people say that about holidays as it is, but with the ketogenic diet, it was noticeable. I think I came back about 1.5 stone, maybe 2 stone heavier than I was when I went on holiday. Obviously, with the right diet, you can lose that again quite easily, with most of it being water, weight and alcohol. Before we get into the last point, I have a quick time lapse of my muscle food delivered yesterday, and it'll give you a little bit of an insight as to what I'm currently eating at the moment. So, in 3, 2, 1. Good morning world, it is Wednesday morning, I think it's just gone 10 AM. I have just got a package, I believe it's my muscle food. Oh, there she is.
Look, wave. Tapped in. Lately my life had a fast man, but it's ass plan. Fight for my life with the brass hands, and I still ball with a bad hand. Got an aerial point of view, but they'll never see the big picture through zoom lens. From the quicksand, make it push start, type of band's coupe with the tent plan. I'm back on my bender rolls for the kicks. They quick to give them 2 cents. Put my circle tight like we glued hands. Like I don't believe in new friends. Tread light, I know the ice thin. I drop the song, get a few wins. I crave the comfort in my own skin. Really, I just wanna feel the world spin. Profit check, watch me double that. I get it lit, I watch it bubble up. Remember opening for shows, no a show, but I pulled through, I muscled up. Now the label one fuck with us. I spin the paper, let them know what's up. I figured out we really onto something, cause jealous niggas give us make it all off the phrases, but I can't get no sleep, blending in the weeks. Life is bittersweet, I can't really explain it, but it's everything I need. At least for now, I think that everything might be alright. Okay, yeah, I can't get no sleep, blending in the weeks. Life is bittersweet.
Boom, magic. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, last point, finally, would I recommend the ketogenic diet?
Okay, these days I get replays, blue faces, how I decorated the loose page. Remember how I...
Firstly, everyone has their own fat burning methods, you know. You've got diets, you've got cardio, last minute cardio, morning fasted cardio, you know, fasting in general, ketogenic diet. There's so many different diets out there, vegans, all sorts. It may be for some people and it may not be for others. If you find it hard to lose fat, then give it a go, you know, you never know, it might be your diet. But I would definitely say I'm a firm believer in everyone should try something new for themselves every now and then, as that's where growth comes into play. If I'm honest, I definitely believe it's more of a lifestyle than it is a fat loss diet for a holiday, so to say. I definitely feel like it's one that you must consistently keep up with all year round, because cheat meals can really throw you off. I'll show you how I got on screen now. As you can see, these photos were, I think they were from when I started to when I finished the diet. There's not a massive amount of difference within the photos, but you can see I've definitely lost some fat in there. So I definitely feel like it's more of a lifestyle than it is for anything else. With that being said, everyone, that is the video. Let me know if you want to see what sort of diet I'm currently on and how I go about my daily nutrition, what I believe to be the best nutrition plans at the moment, and how you can implement it into your lifestyle. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.